So when people ask what percentage of your games do you win if you have the opening deal, I tell them 66%. They say, well, what percentage do you deal when you win if you don't have the deal? Barely 50. And I asked Toll, I've asked Lynn, I've asked many other players over the years that have kept track, and it's between 15 and 17 points difference between their winning if they don't have the opening crib compared to what it is if they do. And you have no control over. I'm not suggesting to you that you need to take 2 hours a day and practice cutting, but the truth is there is a big advantage. I can't remember how many people described their hands as a basic 8. And then I got to thinking, how come it's not basic for me? It ain't basic for me. So maybe it's not basic at all. And you notice the longest bar on the graph? 2. So when you turn your crib over and it's 2, how many times do you say 2? 2. 2. Yeah. Take safe pairs, close the count. If it's out near the end of the line and you can pair an 8 for 24, pair it. But don't pair it for 23. Okay. I've got some, hand these out. Most of you got some little marks on your board already. These are marking pencils that wash off. And so if your board doesn't have any marks on it, you can go ahead and mark it. You don't have to mark it as pronounced as some of these are. Now somebody knows how, more than me. I got a little knife here. That'll probably work. I was going to use my teeth, but that's probably, since I'm being filmed, it's probably not a sanitary thing to do. And of course, this could be construed as a weapon, you know. I actually got thrown out of a concert with that. The rest of the people were in chains. I made the mistake. How many people like Hank Williams, the original Hank Williams? Oh, hey, our little town in Napavine, we had Hank Williams III. Said he's going to sing like his grandpa did. I thought, boy, this is wonderful. Hank Williams III, and he's coming right to our little town. Hey, he's a punk rocker. Oh, it's terrible. And they had a motorcycle gang that was enforcing security for the concert. And I walked in and made the mistake. I could have cleaned my thumbnail, and I managed to flash this. I was pulled off and detained like a terrorist at the airport that may have set off an explosive device in the plane. And the rest of these folks are walking around with chains hanging off of them and metal studs on their wrist. And I'm a danger.
It's the beard.
Oh, man, I'll tell you. Well, hopefully this won't end up the same way as that did. In other words, if you don't have the crib on the opening, you are laying your cards down in a way that you think will result in pegs. You're going after the dealer on hand 1. You're not going to wait till hand 8 and think, gee, woohoo, pull this out on 4th Street. 4th Street miracle. No, get after it on 1st Street. No sense of thinking a miracle will happen on 4th Street. I know there's some folks that play for those miracles on 4th Street because when they happen, well, there's a celebration. Wow. But most of the time, they ain't going to happen. John Chambers has written a book. Has anybody here read it? Well, don't buy it. What do I want to say? And you'll be amazed if you play people from New England, how many will throw one king and think it's just wonderful. Except deuce trey is the second most frequent discard in cribbage. How's the king one work with the deuce trey?
Very well.
Works pretty darn good. Yeah, lots of dozens and tens, and sometimes a 14. You know, I hear some people say, "Oh, there's a lot of time to go in this game. I don't worry about position till 4th Street." You got a problem if you ain't worried about position till 4th Street. Play it from hole 1. Here we're starting at hand number 1. So where are the pegs?
Off the board.
Ah, right. Sometimes in your pocket. Okay. Of course, you got the kind of a lead you want by holding a 9 with 2 1s, right? Got a 10-point lead. So we're going to make the count 19. That generally works for 30 for a go, 31. 31 for a pair. And 2 for 31. Huh? Are there some of you who only take 2? I see it every week. I see it every week. Maybe you're not the folks doing it, but I see it every week. 31 with a small pair and they take 2. I thought it was worth 2 someplace else. I mean, I could play anything to make 31 and get 2, right? If I play a pair, I should get 4, right? Okay, 31 for 4. I mentioned to you that I don't suppose there's many folks that play this game that know what all 91 discards are and the order they appear. But at least take the time to learn the top 5. I mean, that's not many. Yeah, and if you can learn the top 5, you might want to stretch it to 10.
Now you're pushing it.
Why does the 4-5 work so good?
2, 3, 5, 6.
How many people do you hear say, my favorite discard to the crib is a 6 king, 6 queen, 6 10, 6 jack? Hey, you don't need any help on the cut to have a good crib with a 4-5 discard. Okay? Don't lose sight of it.
Delenn personally told me one time that on 4th Street, 26 is not the average on 24th Street. It was more in the area of 23 or 24 because of defenses.
So make it up on 1st if you can. Yeah, okay. Don't wait for Delenn to tell you on 4th Street that you're at a big disadvantage.
Yeah.